So I wanted to give a little update on the clausing lathe now that I've got some parts and stuff for it. And I'll show you those here in just a second. Plus, the weather, we've received 10 and a quarter inches of rain in the last 5 days, and 8.5 of those have come in the last 48 hours. So it's been a little wet here. Been battling. Fortunately, the tile line worked like we planned, and I'll try to do an update on that later. It's just I've been getting home after dark, and it's been very wet, so I haven't got anything done in the shop. But I wanted to show you. This is the manual for the lathe. I don't think I've shown you any of this paperwork yet. It's 5914. I think we already talked about that. But I wanted to show you, the nice thing is in the back of this lathe, or back of this book, they give you all of the parts breakdown. And I wanted to show you some things that, if I can find the correct part, or the correct, now that I'm looking for it, I can't find it. Go figure. Here we go. So here are a lot of the parts that I ended up with. So right here is the hydraulic speed mechanism. And the part that is broken in the inside is this part right here, the 5977. It's a spring housing assembly, so it's got a spring that's basically coiled inside of a casting part. And clausing did have that part. Here it is right here. It was $142, I believe, which I'm not complaining about. But here, I'll try to see if we can take it out of the plastic here. All total, clausing had everything that I needed. I called them up, spoke to, I think, their service manager, and basically super nice. He went through everything that I needed. But basically what it is there's two roll pins, one right here that engage this assembly right here, assembly in here. And you wrap what was wrong with it is this little tab right here is busted off, and I'll show you when I fix it. But basically you kind of have to preload the spring in there, because it's being pressed on by this hydraulic assembly right here, which presses on this cam, this 5971 cam, and the spring right here basically tensions it. And there was no easy way for me to get in there and fix that spring, because it looked like it had broken off a couple times. And so there was no easy way for me to fix it. So that's the first part I got. It's the most expensive part that I had to buy. Like I said, but $142. I mean, it's not $143, something along those lines. Next thing, I said that we had a leak in the housing in the hydraulic mechanism. We went ahead and I ordered this hose right here. It's this hose right here. Probably could have had it made, but instead of trying to find someone to make it in town locally, they had 12 of them on the shelf. So I ordered the hose, because I think the hose, the existing one appears to be original, so it's from the mid 70s, 75, 76, something like that. And I mean, it's cracked and worn, so we're gonna replace the hose. Also, at the same time, the housing right here is leaking on the floor. There's something leaking. And so I went ahead and bought these 563008 and the 567059, which is the packing and the piston that you see right here. And so anyway, these were like 12 bucks a piece, and these were like $3 a piece. So I might as well replace them both. So I'll pull this cover off and figure out if I can how I need to take everything off right here, and we'll go from there and replace these pistons in this packing. And basically what happens is this piston drives on this tube, or drives on this tube right here, and pushes it in and out. And as it pushes in and out, it changes the speed. And I'll show that mechanism once we get it working. And then at the same time, I decided on the tailstock and the saddle assembly. I wanted to replace the wipers, so I got all of the wipers for the ways, mostly because, you know, I don't know how long the wipers have been in there. I don't know anything about them, and I mean, these are so critical to making sure the way doesn't get scarred up or galled up from metal getting in there. And so basically, on this front part right here, you have the 938004. There's two of those on the carriage, and then there's two of those on the tailstock. Trying to find it's on another page. And then up here on the back part of the carriage assembly and the tailstock, there is this DL434, which are just kind of these flat bottom ones. So I'm going to replace the wipers. I got to do a little bit of reading. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to pre-oil them or not. Certainly something I'll need to look into. Kind of interesting. I really had, well, kind of interesting that Causing basically still makes all these parts. I was absolutely thrilled. The only other part that I think I might need is this valve cam assembly right here, but I won't know until I get all this replaced. And then I would really, no, I was already on that page. So the cross slide assembly, I told you that my cross slide is pretty mushy. There's almost a full turn, and I need to just take it apart to see what's causing that. Since I have the taper attachment, it has a different cross side screw assembly than the other ones. I don't know how much these are. I asked about wear when I called them on the phone, and they were like, you just probably have to take it apart to see what wears the most. They didn't think it's not normal for the screw to wear. It's normal for some of these washers up in here to wear. So I'm probably just gonna have to take it apart and see which one is worn or what might be worn. But I think I might use the lathe for a little bit before I do that. At least get somewhat decent at trying to turn something down, and before I take it all apart and don't have a lathe for an extended period of time, because with me, you never know how long a project's going to take. So, but it is interesting to see that the taper screw assembly is different than the regular cross-slide screw assembly. So that's where we're at on the lathe. I don't know if I'll get a chance to install any of this stuff on this video. I may just end it here. I did want to show you the taper attachment. I did try a little bit of tapering with it. Obviously, that takes a lot of experience, but I did do a taper. I can't tell you anything about it, but basically, you've got this taper bar and slide, and it kind of pushes the cross slide in. Really, kind of a cool little piece to have. I don't know exactly what I would need it for at the moment, but really happy to have it because evidently it's a pretty expensive little attachment. And I don't know what else I have in here. I haven't really looked through it. Some attachments. I don't know what that is. So lathe attachment 5300 series, we have a 54. Lathe attachment 6300 series. Okay, this is the 54. I'm guessing it's missing a cover, or it's inside out or something. Guess this one's missing a cover. 4800 series lathes. So I don't know. I guess maybe this is the catalog there, just like the catalog came. Parts. Something from 2000. I may have to go through these parts right here and see what's been replaced. I know that there's a couple things that have been in there. Here's some more parts prices from October of '84. I'm sure those are real current. And then Not sure what this is. Worth sprayers. Anyway, that's all the paperwork I got with the lathe. So I'll leave it there, and I've jabbered on for 10 minutes. Hopefully you found it interesting, and thanks for watching.